Perfect Turd Podcast, episode 120, Lamar, Beyond Resonator, Herbert West returns, plus The Curse of Reanimator, 2 movies.
This is the continuation of them bringing back Miskatonic U, bringing back from Beyond, and then, of course, bringing back the Reanimator. And this is the final one, I guess.
I don't believe so, Lamar.
That's why the choo-choo is up there, because I think we know where they're going. We don't want to spoil things, but I think they're going more to the Herbert West side of things. And I think they kind of found that out midway between like doing this, the snippets and stuff like that. Because Joe, you mentioned that you didn't like the other people. What's his name? Crawford and all those other people.
We talked about this in our last review of the first half of these.
Yes.
In that there's basically 2 storylines. They're combining the 2 things, the resonator and then the reanimator.
Mm-hmm.
And all the while, I mean, the resonator part of the storyline, I'm not into it. I'm just not. I don't like the characters.
I have to agree, because I feel like this is being overshadowed by how good. We got to find out this actor's name. Herbert West.
He's doing good. Yeah, he is good.
And I feel like there's so many more things you can do with that character, because as we go through the episodes, they just keep on. A basic thing is that this dude is in a basement trying to make this thing work. But the problem is every time he reanimates something, it's like animalistic. They go berserk. Even somebody kind of comes up with their brain, intact, but they're a little more evil. So you have so many ways to do like the reanimator. The resonator is kind of like, different dimension.
Yeah.
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 It's kind of like, I think they kind of want to push it more to the Herbert West reanimator stuff. Yeah. I like that stuff because I like how he's like he's basically antisocial, but he has to relate to people and stuff like that. There is maybe even a romance budding, Joe. Maybe.
Yeah.
So that's even deeper. And then why he's doing what he's doing, and you're getting into his mind. And then when you're watching it, it goes to the resonator. You're like, oh.
Yeah, that when it goes to the resonator half of the story, everything kind of slows down just a little bit, and they're trying to make it interesting. Like they're trying to use the guy Crawford to reanimate a woman's dead son, or to connect with a woman's dead son. But I think for me, it's more that character Crawford is just not that interesting. Where the Herbert character on the reanimator side is, and a thing that surprised me, I thought by this point that the 2 storylines would have somehow collided, but they're still working kind of side by side instead of like, as one storyline.
Are they, Joe? Because I think when you see the ending, they're like, let's go to Herbert West.
Yeah, so you think like they're just going to completely abandon the resonator half and just go straight up with Herbert, plot?
I don't want to spoil it, but the way it ends, I was like, which I thought was entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
Because we can at least say there's a lot of blood and guts and effects like that, which are good, always in full moon. Yeah, but then when I saw it, I was like, oh, so they're just... Remember that other stuff? Nope. We're here with Herbert West. So,
well, in a lot of ways, it's almost better off if they just split them apart. There was no need to have them all together in one kind of movie series. They could have. They would have might have been better off having them maybe start together, break them into separate movies, and then somehow bring the 2 storylines together. But going the back and forth that they're doing right now, I'm only into him, so because I like him so much. So I don't know.
I think they did that because they kind of tried to do like the Marvel, like, hey, we have this other character here. Mm-hmm. But it goes back to what you're saying. I think what we're both saying. When they're both like aligned with each other, Herbert West
Yeah.
is like the more interesting stuff. It's just like him reanimating things, and because you're waiting to see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
The aftermath of what happens to when he's trying to reanimate things. So that I will say from this series, this has gotten me more hyped for more Herbert West Reanimator stuff.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Yeah, I'm hoping they do go that path, and like it to me this, I know they're saying this is the end of this, like this was the last one. I don't see how you can end it the way they ended it. There's going to definitely be more, and I'm hoping that at some point they just split them into two separate things. And I feel like they could still make the resonator stuff better. You know, if they have that just to focus on, you know,
just by itself,
so that you don't have to worry about going to the, you know, the reanimator stuff. Just focus on the resonator stuff. Add some more interesting characters and stuff to it, and do that, and then the Herbert West reanimator stuff will be another thing on its own, and then maybe you can collide them, you know, later on.
Maybe,
yeah. Now, we talked about with Full Moon Features. So the way Full Moon does everything, if it's a 2-hour movie, it's basically broken up into four or five parts, right?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say, like, that's growing on me. I like that.
I will say this, and this is my plea to Full Moon. Go ahead with the Reanimator.
Mm-hmm.
Make a full, I would say, a nice chunk of 6 episodes, 40 minutes long. I think you could do something with that.
Yeah.
Like he basically, he's kind of like Frankenstein. He's messing with things he shouldn't mess with, and he always gets into trouble, and then people get involved. I think you can make a series out of this, little mini series.
Yeah. I mean, they almost kind of are the way they do it, right?
Right.
They are almost episodic.
And I think like just make it a little bit longer, and you'll have like a more fleshed out story and stuff like that. You know, because at the end of this episode, we're kind of seeing how Herbert West like really thinks.
Yeah.
Because I hope this isn't a spoiler. He kind of was talking to somebody about like, you know, why do you bring somebody back to life? And then, you know, he looks at this little girl, because they were talking about basically like, you know, maybe it's just death is a part of life, and it's like, so this little girl, she doesn't have any more life to live and stuff like that, you know? So he has some compassion. It just seems like he's a crazy scientist.
Yeah.
That's like the little parts where you can dig into his character, maybe see like, you know, who he is, all that kind of stuff. That's just me though, Joe.
No, it makes sense. Yeah. I mean, the actor's doing great at the part. And I guess it is very much now at this point, they've answered one of the questions that we had with our previous review. Like it's a soft reboot, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
Going back from the original Reanimator, and this dude stepped in, and he's doing a great job with it. So. Yeah, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, what are we rating it?
I don't know.
Wait, are we rating just the 2 movies, the final 2, or are we rating the thing as a whole?
Let's do the whole thing, because I want to be selfish and push my own idea. I say this is a 3 out of 5. I think this has the potential, if you just focus on Herbert West.
Mm-hmm.
Him as a reanimator, you just have him, just his own thing, 6 episodes. This will be a 5, because there's so many things. I mean, of course, you have that movie, but then like I feel like they understand.
Yeah.
Like, you know, what makes the Reanimator like great and what we liked about it and stuff. So I'm saying this is a 3 now, potential 5 if they do what I want to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
You hear that, Full Moon?
That's my plea.
Do what Lamar wants you to do.
Yes.
Or else.
I don't know. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Okay.
And I like what they're doing is with the little series of films that they're doing, like splitting up in half an hours, they ratchet up gradually.
That is
and by
true.
the time you get to the last one, it is full bore and it's going good. So I like that part of it. So yeah, I mean, other than the resonator part just being a little lackluster and the characters just being just hard to relate to, I guess, or something, or it's just kind of there's nothing there for me. But the Herbert West stuff is great. The movies always look good. The props and the special effects, all that stuff, which I love.
Yes.
So yeah, it's solid. 3.5 out of 5. I like it.
Yes, I think Full Moon. Come on, give me more Herbert West. They've been doing good with the Baby Oopsie, which is coming up. I think later on.
That's coming soon.
I think they have something with the Herbert West character. I think you can keep on doing that. So, yeah.
So people right now are like in the Full Moon office, and they have like a whiteboard on the wall, and it says like all the things, and then on the corner it says things Lamar wants, and it just lists all the things. More Baby Oopsie, more Herbert West. Anything else?
I'll get back to them. They just, let's see how I feel. I feel like that's a great plan. Everybody just bases their likes on me, Joe. Their taste.
Good for you. It must be nice.
Exactly. Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right. Does that wrap this up then?
Yep.
All righty. Well, Curse of the Reanimator / Herbert West Returns. I always get confused with all these names of everything.
Yep.
So anyways, cool. Peace.
Deuces.